key name by the names of Oliver Mbeka, who of course is the only or the first female coach to coach a male team. So she is right as an interim at Lugazi right about now. But of course today we did see a story coming up from some of the closest sources saying that Lugazi Football Club is looking into recruiting the services of David Obua as their new head coach. That is one thing. So it's imminent that it could be announced soon. So we're waiting to see what exactly that will be for. That is Lugazi. What could he do into the team in case he's going to be announced? That's one big story that we shall be waiting to talk. But of course, before we get to all those, I want us to start with the top-notch story also coming in from the Western side. The Regional League side is trying to setting up this weekend. We should be expecting the Regional League games kickoff in a Western region with a lot of expectations with how teams are also ready to push and make sure that things work their way. Teams like Araka, teams like Kochi Aban, teams like of course Nebi Central, teams like of course Juman Town Council, all setting up very well, and we're waiting to see how they would be pushing things in there. So those are some of the biggest talking points that we shall be coming onto. Yeah, but if you look at what exactly the region has set up, you would see that there's also a story about how the draws for the Uganda Cup draws are also out, how teams have registered. Remember, I did tell you there are very many teams that are going to be looking forward to see that they need to participate in the Uganda Cup. And in the Uganda Cup right now, you would see that the draws that came out showed that very many regional league teams have shown have expressed themselves to play because of what exactly is coming through. The draws have different, of course, names that have come through. You've looked into the dates that have been set, but including even Araka Nebi, who are also ready to see that this moves out. So what are you expecting? Because the Uganda Cup will be taking place at the same time, you'll be also seeing that the Uganda, I mean the regional league, that will also be going through. So a lot of expectations. What are you expecting? Because this is one of the biggest things someone would really want to push forward and push the teams to. Now, preparation-wise, I think teams still have challenges. Why do they have challenges? Because you can't see them, of course, showing you what exactly they have to present. We've looked into how Big League got very many clubs by surprise when even they had tried their level best to see that this is what would be coming. And then you look at what also has come through for the teams that are coming from the other parts of the region. They have prepared. Now, for the preliminaries, yes, we have a lot of things that will be coming because if you look at first preliminary, we'll see that the team of Airfield, that is well prepared, taking on Ombachi Sports. By the way, there are very many teams that have registered because they really want to see that things work out. Let me give you a whole view of what exactly will be like. The draws came out, and by around Saturday, they were already out. West Nile United will be taking on Koboko Rising Stars, and then Yumbe Soccer Academy will be welcoming the team of Total Football Club. Ubuntu Giants FC will be taking on Ottoman FC of Yumbe, and then Seaborn Stars will be taking on BK Cities, and you have OA Galaxy FC taking on Odramachako Football Club, as Riverview OFC of Moyo will be taking on, of course, Nyangilia Super Eagles. Ramba FC will be welcoming the team of Kochi Aban, and then you have Opotani FC that will be taking on Okokoro United FC, as Juba Park FC also welcomes Adjumani Town Council, whereas Kubala United FC takes on the team of Tipsha Football Club, and you have Midland FC taking on, of course, Andruvu Football Club, whereas Sports Club Aban FC taking on Araka Football Club, and Safety Heroes will be welcoming Yaya All Stars FC, whereas MTC FHL taking on, of course, Lima Central, and of course Aivu Lion Stars taking on, of course, Super of course, team in there. So all these games will be coming, but you have the Stanbic Uganda Cup still moving on. In the Nyadak zone, round 1 preliminary games, Ombachi will be taking on Arua Airfield, whereas Nyarvur will be welcoming Alpha Rising Stars. Zeus Central takes on Parombo Missions Star. Oweko Magic Stars takes on Padea Rising, as Parombo United takes on Nile Hippos. Young Savannah takes on Nebi Central. Nebi Central. Johanna FC takes on, of course, the team of Pakwachi Young Stars, whereas Goli Mission will be welcoming Kuluva Rainbow, and Kamia Inter Stars versus Okolo Central, whereas Kakira Young Stars takes on Ovison Football Club. Hot Springs takes on Arua City. Villa Stars takes on Paida United, and that's how the games will be. So now the rest will be, of course, following how the games will be going, the round 2, but that's how the round 1 will be. So that's the biggest thing that I can give you for now, coming in from all these other moments. Now let's move away from there and look at how the big league is also moving on, because there are a lot of things happening in the big league. If you look at how teams are trying to push, how teams are trying to set records, how teams are trying to get underway. First of all, right now, the big league has a tight fixture, and how exactly teams have done is what I want to give you. Yesterday, we did see the team of course, yesterday, the team of Calvary Football Club had a game against Buhimba. A goal scored by, that is Odeke for Calvary, separated the two, meaning that Calvary won their game by 1-0 at Midigo Primary School playgrounds. In their tight game it was. But before that, you had also a game that was played earlier on between Chigeze Homeboys, a game that was supposed to be played on Sunday. That was pushed to Monday due to the heavy downpour, and Chigeze had to play against Busoga United, a game that was played at 10 a.m. in the morning yesterday morning, and that was another big one. Now that game had to end in a draw, 1-1 all, as Busoga still keep the specialists in playing draws yet in this league. And you also did see Kataka Football Club play against Boma, and Kataka at their own home in Mbale Municipal Grounds beating Boma by 1-0. And then Chiinda Boys played 1-1 all draw with Gaddafi Football Club. Whereas Onduparaka Football Club against Maida Football Club, or Mida Football Club, was a 2-1 victory for, that is the home side right there. But before that, on Saturday, there was one game at hand, and that game was between Karo Karunji and Arua Hill Sports Club. Karo Karunji beat Arua Hill by 3-1. And then, of course, you did see Paida Black Angels being held by Buhimba on Friday, 1-1 all in there. This is how the games have really been moving. But because of that, let me give you also how the table is standing right about now in the FUFA Big League after all these games were played, and what are the point differences between the two sides, or between these teams, in fact the 15 teams, who is leading and who is not in position probably to see that they get themselves right there after match day 3 of that is the game. Now a lot is being said on who and how teams probably will perform this season, and we are also expecting a tight fixture, by the way, come this season, because if you look at the standings and the statistics, that shows the capability, the possibility of teams pushing in there. You will be shocked that very many teams have yet a long way to go, because preparation-wise, I think they have not been yet very ready to talk about. Let's look at the table standings on how, of course, the FUFA Big League is. Surprisingly, someone would say surprisingly, right now it is Boma Football Club that is leading, by the way, because they are doing really a very great job. Boma, they have gotten themselves onto the table. Why? Because yes, they are the team leading the table after, of course, they had won their game in there. So it's so big that teams need to prepare for always the FUFA Big League, because it's all either you can even be at the rock bottom right now. The next day you win a game, you are top of that is the table. So it's so challenging in a way that you can't expect the big league end in such a manner But all in all, that is one big thing. Then, of course, the teams like Gaddafi, that also had hopes, have all pushed to another different position. Now, let's start with Boma Football Club, that right now is on table with 6 points. Then you have Karo Karunji with 5 points at number 2. And then Gaddafi Football Club with, of course, 5 points. It's a goal difference that separates them. Then from number 4 up to number 9, these are tied on, of course, goal differences, but they all have equal points. So Buhimba is number 4. Chigezi is at number 5. Calvary is at number 6. Kataka is at number 7. Chinda is at number 8. Nduparaka is at number 9. And all these teams have 4 points, and it's the goal differences that separates them. And of course, the rest of the teams from number 7 up to number 4 are having 1 goal each. And then, of course, from number 7, number 8 and number 9 have negative goals. That is right there. So that's how exactly the big league table is. But at number 10 is Ntunga Saze, that is playing on Nduparaka, by the way, this week. And then you have Busoga United, that is at number 11 with 3 points. Whereas Blacks Power is at number 12 with 3 points. Number 13 is, of course, Paida with 12 points. Number 14 is Mida with 1 point. And Arua Hill Sports Club is rock bottom with no point yet to talk about right now. So remember, it's so far going on well as match day 3 continues, and teams are looking forward to see that they get themselves throughout, that is the game. So it's so tight, but of course, we're expecting, of course, by the time the half of the games are played, you know where exactly the teams are lying and where exactly which team could be the best side, which team could get the best value, which team could be the team to talk about come half of the season, because that is going to be the determination for how teams will be pushing. But I can confirm to you, Big League has always been so tricky in a way that you don't expect to even predict who will qualify until the last day of the games, most of the times, because the point difference, just like I did give you, will always be so close to the other. A lot of draws, a lot of this, but we are waiting to see how this comes up. Now, the next fixtures for the match day 4 include Blacks Power against Kataka Football Club. This game will be played on Thursday at Akibwa Stadium. Then on Saturday, you'll be having Ntunga Saze playing against Nduparaka Football Club. On Sunday, Gaddafi will be playing Calvary Football Club, whereas Maida will be welcoming Paida Black Angels at, of course, Kangunga Playgrounds. Busoga United will be welcoming Chiinda Boys. And then you have Boma Football Club that will be taking on Karo Karunji. As Arua Hill will be playing their first ever game at also their home ground, Peche Stadium, to play against Kataka Football Club at Peche War Memorial Stadium. And now that will be another one. Could we be expecting the Congolos do it this time against Kataka, because they will be home? I think the fan base will be right there for them to also get to the best of their game, to see that they prove it wrong for the rest, because the 2 games have been away games that they have gotten in there and haven't won any of the game out of this. Went to, of course, to Blacks Power. At the same time, they also went to that is Karo Karunji. Now they are right here. What do we see? Because from Antungamo, they're back in, that is their own land, right here in Gulu City, where they will be having the game against, of course, Kataka. Now, that's one big one. Whereas match day 5, we will be seeing Blacks Power, Paida, taking on Ntunga Saze at Barrow Koro Stadium, after, of course, their game that they will be traveling away. And then there will be also Karo Karunji playing against Blacks Power, whereas Chiinda Boys will be taking on Boma Football Club. Chigezi, then Chiinda Boys will be taking on Arua Hill, whereas Nduparaka takes on Gaddafi Football Club. Buhimba Saints welcomes Maida, and the team of Calvary takes on Ntunga Saze at, that is, Midigo Primary School Playground. So those are some of the big things that have come in there, but of course a lot of talks came through when the man, the veteran striker, the legendary Samson Sizo Kuti, got onto the score sheet twice. I'm seeing a lot of talks about it, but of course you would say it is of course so soon, because yes, the talks could be coming because of the team, of course, that had lost twice. And then you have also on the top scorer chart, by the way, the most person who is topping the table right now has 3 goals. That means the rest are tied on 2 goals apiece right through the games in there. So we're waiting to see how exactly that would be for, that is the sides of course, the home side of that is Onduparaka, and the team, how they will be. Okay, we move away from the big league and look into the Uganda national team that also came through to the region, West Nile region, and played a 2-1 win for, that is the Uganda Cranes, against the West Nile Select. It was played at Boma Grounds in Yumbe, yes. Again, that saw, of course, the team of Uganda getting the early goals, and of course an equalize also, or a consolation from the West Nile Select team. But all in all, it was only for the big league, regional league, and the teams that played. Not any, but of course, if you look at what exactly happened, you see that most boys who played were the regional sides, because most of the big league teams had games on that very day. Something that we talked in length with Toko Badru, saying maybe it was not a right time to have such a game. But all in all, it happened, and the team went out so happily, seeing how they could have gotten at least a goal against the national team. And all in all, I think that is always good for selection and for identifying talent, or those hidden talents, because most of the times you see that these games are not publicized well, and you fail to identify. So if the scouting department of the national team also has such tours, they could identify identify players in such tours, so that they are given opportunities. That's the reason why our players, most of our players, cross over to play for, that is South Sudan, because they feel they could at least do something to the national team, but they are not called, and they get themselves getting into the different clubs of that is the game. So it really affects. It sometimes adds in something. But all in all, we are waiting to see what could be the biggest question, what could be the biggest task ahead of what exactly comes right there. So we are waiting to see and pushing forward, and of course letting know of how the different players could adopt and could get chances to play for the national team. Yeah, because everybody's dream, every player's dream is to play for the national team. So if you don't get a chance, it always affects. Okay, that is one. But also at the same time, you did see Uganda. That's the She Cranes had also another interesting performance, because it was one of the biggest things to talk about in the weekend. Uganda tried so much to see that they maintained their world netball rankings, and they set this time round, they sat in for the 5th tournament in New Zealand and did something very tremendously. But Uganda has maintained its 6th place, according to, that is the World Netball October 2024 rankings that came out right there. Now the She Cranes are now gearing up for, that is a particular Fast 5 netball series that is, of course, said to be scheduled for November 9th to 10th of that is next month, and it is going to be, of course, a very big one. In that is Christchurch, and this is going to be in New Zealand, where you will be expecting a lot of performances from, that is the Uganda national team. So what exactly they come up with will be another big one. Despite the leadership wrangles, despite the leadership that is currently, of course, ravaging the netball team, yeah, you would know that this is one of the biggest things. So the country is still, of course, a major powerhouse. That is the international scene, and of course international stages. They are doing everything possible, but now, can we sweep our room clean? Can we sweep the federation well and make sure that things happen well there? That is the thing that we are looking at. The Fast 5 Netball World Series will mean that Uganda is really doing well. And this is an annual, by the way, it's an annual event that features exciting countries that come in there, and of course the modified version of, that is the traditional netball, including of course the shorter quarter and the power plays, and at the same time the long range shootings that have all been introduced. So it is always a fun, but of course this is the thing that we shall be. So this year Uganda will be, of course, will compete Again, some of that is the best, best of the best in the world, including Australia. That is ranked, by the way, the first. Then you have England. England is ranked the second. You have New Zealand, that is ranked the third. There's Jamaica, that is ranked the fourth. Then there's South Africa, that is ranked the sixth. And Uganda, of course, is ranked the sixth. So you will be seeing that in there. And of course, in the border world rankings, Uganda now has 128 points, and they are placing, of course, themselves so close to that is South Africa, because South Africa has 158, of course, points, and of course, we'll be looking forward to see that they still maintain this. And of course, Africa's rivals, like the Malawi side, that has always been a very good side, are ranked 7th behind Uganda with 127 points. That is right there. So we're expecting a very big one. This makes, of course, Uganda the second highest ranked African team regionally. And of course, Uganda holds a commanding lead over East Africa as I talk right now, because Kenya is nowhere to be seen. They are significantly ranked at 26th in the world. So they are not so close. Likewise to Tanzania, you can't even see them close to Uganda. So Uganda is dominating the East Africa region, and of course trying to see that this is the one that they can put. So despite the internal challenges within Uganda Federation, yes, I can tell you, the team remains focused on performing, of course, well in New Zealand. So we're expecting a very, very good performance for Uganda in New Zealand. So what exactly do you have to say about Uganda? I think they are doing us proud. We have seen also Uganda national team now, the boys team, also trying to see that, yeah, why not? If the She Cranes can't do this, why don't we also push things work out right there? So it's one of the biggest things that we're looking into to see that Uganda gains its moments throughout the games that are coming. Yeah, indeed, that's one of the biggest things that I really wanted to talk about. But before we get to that, I just did tell you, what do you think about the coming of David Obua as, of course, a tactician at Lugazi? Lugazi plays in the first star of Uganda Football League, and that is the FUFA Big League. After, of course, not FUFA Big League, but the Super League. I'm talking about the Start Times Uganda Premier League, where, of course, they had a very good, tremendous play in the Big League. Now they are into the Elite League of Uganda, and they deserve a coach who is going to be doing well. Remember, they fired the man by the names of Sadiq Sempiji, who was with them, and barely after, I think, 3-4 games, he couldn't perform well, and he was sent packing, probably axed by the axe at Lugazi, who, of course, are in the forest right there. Of course, making sure that they need to improve on their performance. Now, what does David Obua bring? First of all, he brings in experience of Ugandan League. Then two, he brings in that good flow, free-flowing football that is going to be a very good one for, that is the team of Lugazi to adopt to. He brings in, of course, the leadership ability into, that is Lugazi, in case he gets the deal done. And at the same time, he brings in what is called the discipline into the league. Remember the reason why he left Uganda League? Yes, it's one big one. Then he brings the experience of even the diaspora, where he has ever played out of, that is the league in Uganda, and he's going to bring in there. So now that is one thing that is coming to bring into the Lugazi team. The tactics and everything will be working out for him. And what do we say about this coach? Those are the benefits that I have said you will be getting as a club. But you will have to be patient with him. He will always love to be his way. He will want to do everything his way. That is David Obua. He will want to prove to you that this is how we play. This is what we are supposed to do. These are the players that are supposed to fit in my team. Yeah? Shall that be able for Lugazi to prove and give him that chance to prove himself, give him that chance to build up and make sure that this is what exactly we need? Yes, if that is the case, then it is going to be good. You looked at where he left Sports Club Villa. Villa was playing total, not Villa, but URA. URA was playing total good football, but he needed time to adopt and make sure that things work this way. This is what we are supposed to. And yet, for URA, the tax collectors needed trophies, they needed this. So Lugazi, for them to maintain themselves there, of course, they will need to give him, leave him to be there, but of course with patience, to make sure that he teaches the type of game that is deserved. whatever he wants is what he will have to put into the team to make sure that this works out. So it's so big that this will be happening. And of course, we shall be waiting to see what exactly comes in there. But right now, as I talk, history of Mbeka as Lugazi will be visiting. Of course, Express was one key name that will be coming. Today, being a Tuesday, we shall be seeing Mbeka for the first time at Nachivubo, as Oliver Mbeka will also make his history as the first lady to take charge of the Premier League side when Lugazi will be tussling it out against, that is Express Football Club. This game will be at Nachivubo Stadium. Of course, the newly adopted name is Ham Stadium, where, of course, the Charles Lukwago, the mayor of the Kampala city, saying that this shouldn't be named by Ham's name. It is because it's a historical stadium, but that's for another day. So this time round, Lugazi is one of the two sides yet to get a match win this season, and of course it doesn't look like it will, of course, end against a side that is there. They will be excellent at home, but where, of course, they will be moving in there. So remember, they are coming away to Express. Mbeka, this is a lady who is going to be on the touchline trying to prove to the people that this is what I can do. So let's wait and see what exactly this will be like. But because there are going to be a lot of challenges that probably she could be facing, issues of command and the rest that will be coming in there, we shall wait and see. Remember, on Wednesday, there are also going to be games. Sports Club, Soltilo Bright Stars will be taking on Barara City at, that is 4 p.m. This game will be at Kavuma. On Thursday, we'll be having UPDF taking on URA at Bombo Military Grounds. Maroons takes on Sports Club Villa at Luzira. Then, of course, Chitara will be taking on Bull on Friday at Butema. Vipers welcomes Police at Chitende. And then on Saturday, you'll be having Bali Heroes taking KCCA, whereas NEC Football Club will be welcoming the team of Wachiso Giants. That will be right there. So those are some of the big counters that will be coming through. I'll be coming back to give you some of the international stories in the of course, in the remaining minutes that will be coming through. And then I will also be letting you know of what exactly is happening in some of the outcasts of the sports that will be coming right now. Let's take a break.